Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another session of the Neota network. So this session is actually part of a few different streams. So corporate legal, law firm, the Neota platform stream, and of course, thought leadership stream. And definitely a highlight on the route if you're moving through those. And today I'd like to introduce Michael Mills, who's one of the co-founders of Neota Logic, in addition to being our Chief Strategy Officer. Michael is sort of a thought leader in the legal tech space and definitely a powerhouse in the industry. So today, Michael will be speaking about technology, justice, and the rule of law. So enough from me and over to you. So Michael, please take it away.
Hello, I'm Michael Mills, one of the founders of Neota Logic. Our topic today is technology, justice, and the rule of law. But let's start at the end with the rule of law. Simon Sinek's circles may have become a business cliche, but they do capture the centrality of the question for any organization or for any individual. Why? When Fred Parnon, John Lord, and I founded Neota Logic a decade ago, we did indeed start with why. All of us were experienced lawyers, Fred and I as litigation partners in big law, John as a barrister. Fred and John had built legal tech companies. I was chief innovation officer in a big law firm. Together, we shared a view that the legal profession, the legal industry, in all but a few experimental corners, was stuck in a service model that was essentially medieval. Master craftsmen, assisted by apprentices, hammering out rings one at a time. This model is a disservice to consumers of legal services, both corporations and individuals, those with money to pay for help and those without, as well as to lawyers themselves. For all, the result is inefficient, slow, costly, tedious, and often mindless work. For those without money, the result is often justice denied. We believed then, and we believe today, that technology is an essential element of a better model. Michael Oakeshott, the great English philosopher and political thinker, said the rule of law bakes no bread. It is unable to distribute loaves or fishes. It has none. And it cannot protect itself against external assault. But it remains the most civilized and least burdensome conception of a state yet devised. We at Neota Logic believe that technology is one stone, though of course only one, in a firm foundation for the rule of law in the modern era. Let us step down one level closer to the ground, to institutions and trust, where we find these grave words by Lord Bach. In the United States, despite our historical grounding in law, a written constitution, an independent judiciary, the doctrine of judicial review, we also have a long history of failures of justice. Now we face profound challenges to the rule of law itself in the political sphere, not just at the fringes, but at center. Stephen Mason, the preeminent analyst of legal services regulation in the United Kingdom, reminds us that, philosophy in hand, we must turn to the real work, to access to justice. In the United States, the Legal Services Corporation is the primary funder of not-for-profit legal services. The dimensions of the problem have been mapped again and again by LSC. They fund about a third of the cost of 4,500 lawyers across the country in 800 offices. They serve 60 million people who are eligible for service. Each year, 2 million are served, and each year, another 2 million are turned away. The agencies must say, we don't have the resources to help you. In New York State, for example, child support cases, what could be more critical? 85% are conducted without a lawyer. In eviction cases, 91% of the tenants appear without a lawyer. For the millions who are not eligible for legal aid, for the middle class, the gap is smaller but still vast. The American Bar Association estimates that Fewer than a third of middle-class individuals facing a legal problem have effective assistance of a lawyer. The kinds of problems that legal aid lawyers and lawyers who serve the middle class see were charted here, and they are familiar but consequential issues. So, how can technology help to close these vast gaps in access to justice? Perhaps not with the devices here, but fortunately, the days of the abacus and the mainframe are long behind us. The past decade has brought dramatic advances in the technologies available to our profession. I won't stop to catalog them. To this audience, they are well known. Indeed, many of you are pioneers in the creation and use of advanced technologies in law. The Technology Initiative Grant Program of LSC is the primary funder of technology in the not-for-profit space, $3 to $4 million a year, 750 projects over 20 years, many of them extraordinary, profoundly useful. And yet the amount of those grants is really a rounding error in the collective account books of the legal tech industry. Let me say a word about expertise in process automation, not just because that's what we do here at Neota Logic, combining in one platform the three essential capabilities of legal process improvement on a foundation of data management and analysis, but also because we believe this approach is the integrating force that binds individually useful tools into powerful solutions all across the field, from corporate legal departments to private law firms, to legal aid offices, to self-represented litigants standing on the street outside housing court. From its founding, Neota Logic has been committed to contributing to the betterment of the profession. We do that in several ways. First and foremost, we sponsor, teach, and support programs in law schools around the world, often in collaboration with major law firms. Students build real applications for real clients, not-for-profit organizations of many different kinds. And they generally earn full course credit after an end-of-course presentation that's modeled on traditional moot courts. If you didn't have a chance to see Professor Pip Ryan's presentation yesterday in the Neota network, find it on the network site. It is terrific. In addition, we work directly with not-for-profit organizations such as Pro Bono Net. And finally, we support law firms building applications in pursuit of the public good. Let's look at a few examples of access to justice technology, A2J technology. Some are from Neota Logic, and others are from some of the many other innovators in this field. The Virginia Legal Aid Society's intake system is a project from the very earliest classes at Georgetown Law School. It's been in production for many years. It's updated from time to time, and it has produced measured savings of thousands of lawyer hours by redirecting away from legal aid those people who, unfortunately, legal aid cannot serve for one of many reasons. The Elder Law Risk Detector also began as a student project, students working with a nursing organization in New York City. It has been expanded year by year across subject matters and geographic reach. It's been supported recently by a $500,000 grant from the US Department of Justice. These are self-help resources and help-finding guides for 47 states all across the country. It's one of the major programs of Pro Bono Net and funded by the Legal Services Corporation Technology Initiative grants. This is Law Help Interactive, also a national resource managed by Pro Bono Net. It's offered free to the community. There are more than 5,000 forms on LHI, and they're used more than 500,000 times per year. They're built with two primary tools, A2J Author, which is a free tool developed at Chicago Kent Law School, and Hot Docs under a generous license from the vendor. LHI is also funded by a Technology Initiative grant. Illinois Legal Aid Online is one of the true pioneers in legal tech for public good. Their website covers many, many areas. IMMI, IMMI. This is from the Immigration Advocates Network, a national consortium of lawyers and organizations who serve immigrants and potential immigrants. This website helps immigrants to understand their legal options, here in Spanish and also in other languages. Upselve is a free tool built on the open source toolkit DocAssemble, and it is for people who can't afford a lawyer, even to file a bankruptcy petition. And finally, a timely new civic application launched just last week. It was developed by Nicole Braddock's team at Theory and Principle and Spread the Vote, an organization devoted to doing exactly that. 2 points in closing. One is technical and one is philosophical. For the technology, we turn to Bill Gates, of course. Over the decade since Neota Logic was founded, there has been enormous change, not only in what we do, but also in what the industry as a whole is doing. Remarkable innovation in many, many areas. Not widely spread enough, but still remarkable technical innovations. And for philosophy, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, from her article, In Pursuit of the Public Good, Access to Justice in the United States. We end with her words in tribute to her, but also because they are such important words. We at Neota Logic look forward to working with all of you on projects in pursuit of the public good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. A lot of great insight there, and I think in our industry, these are things that we've really got to keep it top of mind and keep in mind as we're trying to automate things and just generally, understanding the rule of law and justice in the technology system and as it gets applied to legal tech. Very, very important stuff. So thank you very much, Michael, for speaking today and sharing and taking the time. And thank you to all of you for joining us. Lots more great content to come in day 3. So please sign on to extra sessions. And if there's anything in the past that's caught your eye, feel free to let us know. We'll be circulating some of the recordings after the 3 days of the Neota Network. So thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you at the next session.